You can walk into a room, keep perfectly to yourself, and remain entirely polite, yet still become the target of someone's immediate hostility. You feel the microaggressions and the cold shoulders, even when there is no history of conflict between you. This experience often triggers an internal spiral. We replay our recent actions, searching for a social faux pas or a personality flaw that might have caused the friction. We assume their anger is a direct response to something we did wrong. But that assumption ignores a deeper psychological reality. Unexplained animosity is rarely a reaction to your failures. Frequently, it is an allergic reaction to your strengths. This occurs through a mechanism called projection. In this dynamic, you act as a mirror. When you possess qualities someone else lacks, your presence exposes their unhealed failures and internal chaos, and they project that resulting discomfort back onto you as hate. Mistaking another person's psychological struggle for your own personal failing means handing over your peace of mind to someone else's unhealed trauma. Emotionally unhealthy people often react most violently to the very qualities they struggle to cultivate: confidence, growth, and boundaries. Quiet confidence acts as a constant, silent friction. If you are at peace with yourself, you become a living contrast to the noise inside an insecure person's head, making them deeply uncomfortable with their own internal state. Tangible upward progress can be equally threatening. When you take risks and succeed, it highlights the risks the other person was too afraid to take, turning your growth into a reminder of their own stagnation. Firm boundaries are often met with the most anger. Because these limits remove a toxic person's ability to exert control, they will often mischaracterize your self-respect as a bad attitude. To an insecure mind, your progress and stability are not neutral personal traits. They are experienced as direct challenges to their own comfort. Because the insecure person cannot endure the reflection of their own inadequacies, they attempt to distort the image. They begin a series of social attacks designed to undermine your position. Many rely on constant judgment. By fixating on your smallest flaws, they create a temporary illusion of superiority, focusing on your weaknesses so they don't have to face their own. Others will mock your goals or your personality. This is a deliberate attempt to seed self-doubt. They hope that if you begin to question your own value, the perceived threat you pose to their ego will diminish. If direct attacks fail, they resort to spreading rumors and gossip. Psychologically, it is far easier to attempt to damage someone else's reputation than it is to put in the work required to improve their own life. Gossip, judgment, and mockery are rarely objective critiques of who you are. They are tools used to shield an attacker from the reality of their own situation. These behaviors are usually symptoms of a deeper issue, an intense reliance on external validation. There is a clear divide in how people process worth. While some build a self-sustaining loop of inner peace, the insecure person operates a void. They must constantly chase outside approval to feel a temporary sense of value. Those who rely on the world's applause often resent individuals who validate themselves. When you no longer participate in the game of seeking approval, you become a variable they can no longer influence. A person whose self-esteem depends entirely on external perception will always feel threatened by someone who possesses a quiet certainty in their own worth. Understanding the mechanism of projection changes how you view toxic behavior. Hostility stops being a personal insult and starts looking like a symptom of the other person's internal struggle. You cannot control the lens through which an insecure person views you. Trying to manage their perception is a drain on your own resources that yields no results. When you recognize their animosity as a projection, their behavior begins to lose its weight. Once you stop accepting their premise, their ability to dictate your self-image starts to fade. The reality is that the most emotionally resilient people are rarely loved by everyone. A bright light will inevitably expose what is hidden in the shadows of others. Your energy and self-worth are yours to manage, not theirs to diminish. Maintain your boundaries and your growth, and do not feel obligated to shrink yourself just to make an insecure person feel more comfortable.